Anyway, that being said, it's time for a Coors. Heavy, that is. So, I'm going to make a video response to my friend Nuts or Faggy. I kind of get what he's saying in his videos, but he comes across all wrong. And I agree with him to an extent, but I also disagree. Calling the 1911 outdated wouldn't really make a lot of sense, and especially comparing it to a muzzle loader. Black powder guns are definitely outdated. I'd say maybe the word obsolete would fit better, but it's still a semi-automatic handgun, which they are currently still making. That's the big thing. There's nothing that, with the exception of a fully automatic pistol, it's pretty much the height of technology. So as long as semi-automatic handguns are the height of handgun technology, how would a 1911 be outdated? The only thing you maybe argue is, well, ammunition D45, like the one I used to have, held 14. But then you could just do this, which is pretty goddamn gay, but it still holds a lot of rounds. I cleared this weapon before I started making this video, so don't worry about it. Anywho, I see what you're doing, and I think Nuts, well I know Nuts, doesn't like 1911 fanboys. Well, fanboys suck no matter what. I myself have, and I like the 1911. It's not my favorite gun by any means. But there are some people out there that literally think the 1911 is just a piece of junk. And I know Nuts, I know you don't, you're not one of those people. And I'm not saying if you prefer another gun, anybody out there, that you think the 1911 is a piece of shit, but there's actually people dumb enough to consider the 1911 to be a piece of shit. Well, they don't know shit. And I just said shit like 14 times in a paragraph. But you're trying to combat the fanboys with a Glock and a 9mm. That then you're getting into the whole 9mm versus 45, which there's absolutely no argument there. I can't believe there's even two totally different things. A 9mm will kill you. But I remember when I was in driver's ed, way back in the day, they taught us about debris or loose shit in your vehicle. Like if you get in an accident, you know, stuff's flying around in your car. There was a guy actually that was killed by a Kleenex box. It was in his back window, and he hit something, whatever, and the box came flying out of the back window and hit him right in the back of the neck in the sweet spot and killed him. So, yeah, and I don't kill people. So will Kleenex boxes. So that's irrelevant. But to compare the 45 to the 9, I mean, there's just no comparison. People like 9s like they like Chevy 350s. They're cheap. And they just need to come out and say, oh, I like 9s because they're cheap, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with saving money. But there's by no means, I mean, there's no contest. A 45 is just a much better round. To say you prefer a Glock, or a Glock is a better system than a 1911 of any sort, yeah, I could respect that opinion. I disagree, but I see your point. Glocks and those plastic guns are pretty goddamn reliable. There ain't nothing to them. So yeah. Also, in terms of reliability, I think that's also an unfair statement towards 1911. I mean, everybody makes one. There's so goddamn many different kinds, and they've been making them for so long. There's bound to be turds. That happens. I had a little trouble with mine. It needed to be broke in. I was aware of that when I bought it. I don't care. I don't have any trouble now. Hollow points, full metal jackets, and mine's a low end. But, whatever. Also, if you're going to consider this outdated, you know, a Mossberg 500 would be outdated. A Remington 870 would be outdated. Pretty much anything that isn't new would be outdated, wouldn't it? So yeah. Just thought I'd do a video response because that's what you're all about. You don't like it when just people leave comments. Or you don't like it when people just leave comments, I should say. That's just my 2 cents. You could say what you want about her, but I think outdated is just not the way to describe it. This is not a muzzle loader. Also, if it were to be outdated, I don't think every goddamn gun manufacturing company would still be making them, would they? And they have several different kinds, like FN's 1911, that the military might be adopting to replace the Beretta. So what about the Beretta? It would be pretty goddamn obsolete nowadays too. So yeah, you just got a hard on for a 1911 because of the fanboys, and that's fine. But you're just a piss drunk cock.